Are you ready to be part of the most anticipated HR event of the year? Join us at the HR Professional Summit and Awards as we celebrate 10 years of excellence in human resources. It's happening on Friday, November 29th at the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Legon, UPSA Road, Accra. Themed Agile HR, adapting to business change. This summit will feature thought-provoking sessions, expert insights, and award-winning HR leaders. With our distinguished keynote speaker, Mr. Kofi Adomako, CEO of GCB Bank. You don't want to miss this. Our panel discussions will feature experts with practical experience of knowledge cutting across various industries. It's the ultimate gathering of HR professionals, decision makers, business executives, and innovators. Don't be left out. Register now by calling 020-800-7585. That's 020-800-7585. See you there. The HR Professional Summit and Awards 2024, brought to you by HR Certification Center. Are you ready to be part of the most anticipated HR
Indeed,
event?
I am super excited about this. It's for me, it's an opportunity to meet the people who decide the fate of workers, and they can fight me all they want. But we're going to have that conversation right here on the show. You're welcome back to the AM Club right here on MX24. My name is Miriam. Now, I have my guests already seated, so I'm going to start with the gentleman. He is Kwabna Ansong. He is a marketing manager. Okay, he's just a marketing manager. He's not just a marketer, he's a marketing manager. We're going to ask him marketing manager for what and where, okay? And of course, we're talking the HR Professional Summit and Awards. Also joining us, Ann Betha Ajete, admin and training manager, event lead as well. HR Professional Summit and Awards 2024. Again, joining us. So there are three people seated here. The third person will be Pearl P.
Tehuda.
Yeah,
you got it.
I said, I'm not going to murder people's names this year. I've tried so far.
You've tried.
I pronounced it wrong. Okay.
Yes.
Now, she is executive director and convener of the HR Professional Summit and Awards 2024. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm blessed and favored.
Two ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman that came that was trying to speak French with me. I don't know why he did that, but I'm going to ask him why. He's an HR.
Marketing.
Marketing.
Yes.
Marketing for them. How are you
He's
doing?
trying.
Now let's start with you. Let's start all the way from the top.
Okay.
How did you come up with this event for HRs? What prompted you to wake up in the morning and say, listen, I'm going to organize an event for HR professionals?
It's an interesting one. Let me say good morning, Mimi. All right. So sometime last year, we had the first edition of the HR Professional Summit and Awards. This year is our 10th anniversary as a center, so we're coming from the HR Certification Center. But before we delve into that conversation, let's look at the world of work. And for all the HR practitioners and business leaders that are listening this morning, the world of work is fast changing, rapidly. I mean, from the days of VUCA, now we are in the days of BANI. And there's a lot of technological advancement. And so the question you want to ask yourself is, if you're leading people, if you're managing people, if you're leading a business, are you going to do business as usual? Never. And so we at the HR Certification Center, we are saying that you must commit to a higher standard if you're a business leader or an HR practitioner. So on the back of that discussion, we came up with the HR Professional Summit and Awards. Like I mentioned, this is our second edition, and it's also our 10th anniversary. And so we are looking at bringing together HR practitioners, business leaders, that we would have a conversation. Conversation bordering on people, conversation bordering on business. And if we're talking about people, we are not just talking about managing people, but we are looking at leading people. Because mind you, we have different generations in our workplaces today. And so you can't just manage everybody. If you have the Gen Zs, the Gen Ys, and then the Gen X, and then the baby boomers and all of that. The millennials, the Gen Ys.
Gen Y.
Yes. You know, there's always that kind of confusion. And so you can't lead everybody the same. So we want to have conversation on how we can leverage technology to manage business or to lead businesses. And so if you look at the theme of this year's summit is Agile HR, adapting to business change.
Wow.
And we agree that business is changing.
Yes.
And so how can HR practitioners leverage on technology, leverage on innovation, leverage on creativity to manage businesses? Wow. And in all of this discussion, the focus of the conversation will border on people, because we are here to tell our listeners that without people, businesses won't thrive.
You know, it's actually interesting that you bring that up, because in different business environments, lots of in fact, I'm not saying that that's how they are. People are saying that's how they are. It's almost as if the HR professionals that we've seen or have experienced over the years act like it's more important for the top to be okay than the bottom to be okay. When I talk about the bottom, I'm talking about the workers on the floor, the people that make things happen. I think I said this over here. I think we're talking about labor laws that protects, you know, the factory workers, these young people. And there was a protest at the time, and so that's why we brought that conversation up. And you'd realize that the HR manager of that company, I'm not going to give the name, was very adamant about, you know, protecting the people. And one of the young men said something. He was like, you are protecting the people that are at the top, who are supposed to be taken care of. As what kind of woman are you? And you see a lot of women are in HR. So this kind of conversations come up a lot. So I love that you say we change it, but why is it that HRs in every company, most companies, have this, you know, stigma attached to their personalities?
Okay, Miriam, I really don't know which kind of HRs you have been speaking with,
really good ones.
but the field of HR is changing. In the past, it's more on personnel management, but in our current dispensation, we are talking about strategic HR, leading people. And so, like I said, I don't know who you spoke with, but if you want to be an effective HR practitioner, your role is more like that of Jesus Christ, all right? So you become a liaison between God and man. And God here, we are referring to the top, as you would call it, management, I mean, the employer. And then man, we are referring to the people. As much as you want to appease God, you want to be sure that the people are okay so they can come to God. All right, so that is your role. It's not an easy role as we sit here to say it because of, you know, the people. You know, some people are really difficult to manage. So you find HR taking a certain position. But we at the HR Certification Center, we are saying that if you can upskill yourself, if you can learn the current knowledge that we're using to guide the field of work or employment, you become an effective manager. And that is why this summit is very important if you're an HR manager. So you don't fall in the category like Miriam is describing it. You become a strategic partner to your business.
Now let's move straight to Anne Bertha. And you are managing or leading the event team. How do you guys go into choosing who comes? Because we need all the HRs at the event. How do you convene the relevant stakeholders of this particular conversation to be in the room?
Okay, thank you for that. So we do a lot of scouting, and thankfully through our certification, we've happened to have a lot of HR professionals run through our center, and through that we get leverage on the HR professionals. So we reach out to them, we check on their availability, and of course they are like real professionals that we can use.
Right.
So we did that.
So this is your second edition.
Yes.
So you've run this for 2 years. What is
this? Is the second year.
This is the second year.
Yes.
The previous one. What are some of the challenges you face together? And when I talk about challenges, you'll be like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Yeah, that's a call. That's what makes things happen." Because when you encounter the challenges, then the plan that you had for the event, especially events, the plan, it changes in the middle of the event, especially when you are faced with challenges and you're like, oh my God, this doesn't look as easy as we thought it was going to be.
I think the major one that we had was the last minute registrant. So we're expecting about 100 to 150 people. At the end, we had more than 200. And you can imagine hosting something like that at a hotel.
Yeah.
Yes, you don't have preparation for that. But this year we are prepared.
Okay.
Yes. We moved out of the hotel.
Okay.
And we are having it at the Chartered Institute of Bankers.
Right.
Yes. So we
enough
make
room for everybody.
Yes, enough room for. We hope they would register on time so that we do not have to go through the challenge again.
But how many people are we expecting this year?
250 to 300.
Okay.
Yes.
And these are people that you believe that should be either HRs or people who are passionate about
business leaders, individuals who are looking out for personal development and learning.
Let me move to the marketing gentleman who came here speaking French. He doesn't speak French, he does not know French, he doesn't understand French.
Not to mislead people.
But he's here trying to make me feel bad about my French, my non-French speaking life. Marketing-wise, how are you, what are the tools you are employing to push this agenda to get 250 people?
So firstly, thank you so much for giving us this platform. So you are one of our tools that we are using. And I want to thank you so much for giving us this platform.
Appreciate it.
So we are using all means, both traditional and digital. So on our social media handles, we are so effective there on traditional. Aside your media house, the other media houses that we are using, we are leveraging on SMS marketing. So these are tools that we are using. We have micro influencers that we are using. So these are some of the strategies we are using to make sure that the event is out there.
Now, one of the things that I would also say that in event marketing, it looks like lots of people are not getting it right. And I'm not saying this as I know all, but sometimes I look at an event, I'm like, but this person doesn't even need to know about this because it doesn't.
It's logical.
It doesn't. I don't need to see this. It shouldn't be here. And everybody. And like I said earlier, this particular event is for a certain kind of people. Are we creating content or putting out materials that speak directly to them? And what are they?
Good. So the content we are putting out there are from our website. We have everything you need to know about the events on our website. Then we have video endorsements from our keynote speakers that we are giving out there. We have webinar sessions on this topic, Agile HR. So these are the strategies we are using to make sure that everyone out there gets to know about the event.
You're building momentum for it.
I tell you.
And then come back to you, convener. This year, what are your expectations from speakers, events? So I'm asking you to start testing them. What are you expecting from she and he?
All right, so let me take from our keynote speaker, Mr. Kofi Adomako of GCB, very astute individual when it comes
to...
to...
Get him in a room? This conversation.
I know Kofi is busy, and if he's listening, he'll say like, oh, Pearl got me this time around. But, you know, people are willing to support a worthy cause, and so we reach out to them, we leverage on, you know, the people that come through our platforms to get to them. And, I mean, this time around, we didn't have any hassle in getting Kofi, so we reached out. He looked at the concept note, and he said, why not? He would want to. And I know Kofi for loving the work of people, speaking directly to, you know, the importance of people in every business or every organization. And so from our keynote speaker, we are expecting him to deliver, as always, on the theme, which is Agile HR, Adapting to Business Change. And then we're also looking at 2 panel discussions. And the panel discussion is going to focus on people. And so we are looking at employee experience in the digital age. I mean, it's technology. Whether we like it or not, it's come to stay. And so we have the first panel speaking on that topic. And then the second panel is very interesting. On emotional intelligence. Yes, in HR leadership. Yes. We would have that conversation. And I'm sure that the room is going to be filled with a lot of questions because people feel that it's just about leading people. But who are you as a leader? Who is the person you are leading? How does the person want to be led? The environment you are creating. So a lot of questions are going to border on emotional intelligence. And how does emotional intelligence affect business productivity? So that's going to be our second panel discussion. Yes, and so we are looking at the likes of AC Wilson from CBG. Oh, you need to be there to listen to AC. You need to be there to listen to AC. And if all her people are applauding her for the good work she's doing, it means she's offering something very valuable and you need to be there to listen to her. And now we move on to Kwame Afre of Talo. Kwame will deliver, and then we are looking at George Pamford from Hollard. And so if you look at, you know, the composition of the panel, we carefully selected, not just looking at one industry, but from various industries, so we can enrich the conversation. And then for the second panel, we are looking at Ken Entry from Olam is OFI. And then we are looking at Patrick Esiama is the CEO of Synlab Ghana. And then we are looking at Aquile from Jospon. And so we have a blend of HR leaders and a blend of business executives and CEOs coming to enrich the conversation. And I'm sure that these are conversations you don't want to miss. So on the 29th of November, it's a Friday. It's a beautiful day, and we are expecting people to troop in from 9. Events start at 10 a.m. sharp. And for HR Certification Center, if we say 10 a.m., 10 a.m. on the dot, the microphone will go live. And then we have our conversation. It's going to be more like a full-day event because it's a threefold event. So the first session of the event, we're going to focus on the summit. We'll have the 2 panel discussions, and then we take a recess. Of course, you can have people sitting all the time. We'll take a recess to enjoy some meal, and then we would come back and have a graduation. So the graduation is looking at people that have gone through the HR Certification Center for 1 year. Every session, so every quarter, which is every 3 months, we run a cohort, and there's about 150 to 200 people. So in a year, we are looking at close to 600 people that have gone through our center, and we're going to graduate them from studying with us for 6 months. Then the third fold of the event is going to be the HR Awards. So you notice it's HR Professional Summit and Awards. And this award is looking at rewarding deserving HRs. People are doing a lot. And the only thing we can do as a fraternity is to say a thank you to them. And so we're going to be recognizing these individuals. They were nominated by their peers, and it's gone through vetting, and then the winner is eventually selected. So that's a threefold.
So there's just one winner?
No, so we have different categories. So we have the individual categories, and then we have the company categories. So we're looking at categories like HR Personality of the Year, HR Leader of the Year, Large Scale HR Leader of the Year, Small Scale. We are looking at L&D Practitioner of the Year. We are looking at Compensation and Benefit Practitioner of the Year, and that all of those categories. And then for the businesses, we are looking at who is the best employer. So yes, employer of the year. And of course, if you have to be an employer of the year, it's not just the fact that somebody say you're an employer of the year. Certain things must be put in place for us to recognize you as the employer of the year. And we're also looking at an employer that is putting in a lot in people development, leadership development. And we're also looking at an employer that is doing well in employee engagement. And then we are looking at the HR Team of the Year. And so if we are saying that your business has won the HR Team of the Year, what are the things that we are looking at? So that's the work of the awards committee. And at the end of the day, they would give us the individual categories. And so that is just a summary.
For me, you said something that really excited me. You said when it comes to the emotional intelligence conversation, it's so important. Because lots of people, and I've said it a million times on this platform, lots of people say, I'm emotional intelligence, but they cannot even portray it. So it's important to come through and see who you're leading, who you are, and what
the environment that you're creating for the people.
Listen, I want to be there. Is it free or a paid event? You talked about registration, so I'm coming back to you.
Okay, so it's a cool 600 Ghana cedis. Yes,
that's good.
Yes, so occasionally we run the HR conference in US.
Okay.
You can imagine how much you'd have to pay to fly all the way to the US, and you just have to pay 600 cedis
to be a part of this.
To be a part of this event. Yes.
Right. So 600 Ghana.
600 Ghana.
Are you buying tickets, or you're doing the registration online?
Online registration, and then you would get a ticket.
So how do we register online?
Okay, you can contact 020-800-7585, and we'll share the link with you to register.
Okay, so you have to share.
Yes, 020-800-7585.
And your social media platforms, how do we connect with you on social media?
All right, so on all social media platforms, it is HR Certification Center.
Okay.
HR Certification Center. We are really active there.
Okay, so
just
when we
give
send
us
you a
hi.
DM, you're going to
Yes,
respond.
yes.
And are you able to share the link of registration to, register on your social media
So
platforms?
once you give us a hi, we'll send you the link to register.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. It is on the 29th of November, 10 a.m. prompt, and they said their 10 a.m. is their 10 a.m.
Yes,
it's not, those people
Not the
stay.
Ghana time.
It's 10 a.m. Chartered Institute of Bankers, Legon, UPSA Road.
Yes.
So this is right here in East Legon. So if you don't live around the Legon area, just put in your Google map, Chartered Institute of Bankers, Legon, UPSA Road, and you will be there. Just meet us there on the 29th of November. It's 10 a.m. Listen, it's 10 a.m. Let's all go there because we're going to meet your HR there. If you don't get there on time, we're not going to mind you.
Don't start over 10 a.m.
Don't start over 10 a.m. Don't. Because you're going to miss all the great parts. Because for me, this is a lot of education that's going to be happening in a room, and it's important for you as a young person, especially because that's what we do over here. We make sure that the young person is equipped enough to face the job market, because lots of us are almost unprepared for the job, and we get on the job and we get shocks. So please come through and and for those who want to be HRs, it's important to meet your seniors, because the names I see on this thing, 600 Ghana cedis is too small. To meet Kwame Afre of Talo Oil, people, you know what that means, okay? You people. So come through, let's have a good time learning, and there's food, okay? There's food.
Yes. Loads of it.
Good, and lots of drinks.
Loads of food.
Go back.
So ladies and gentlemen, let's find ourselves at the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Legon UPSA Road on the 29th of November at 10 a.m. The 10 a.m. is in my mind.
Yes.
So 29th of November, it's going to be a great time. Please, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
We'll see you.
And thank you for being a good sponsor.
We do this. Okay?
You see.
No,
Thank
we
you
do
so
this.
much. Thank you.
you.
You are the real VIP.
Now we'll see you right after this.